Hi everyone, welcome to the final part of the tiny illustration project. I engraved a small can for my uncle and aunt's 30th wedding anniversary and I filled it with tiny paintings. If you haven't seen the previous parts yet, I recommend doing that first. I'll link them in the description for you. For the first illustration of this video, I want to make a bookcase. At first I struggled a bit with finding a good composition. I had a vertical image in mind, but in the end I went with the horizontal version. I found two different reference photos that I combined together. I picked some elements from both. Bookcases, for some reason, just speaks to my imagination and they are always a lot of fun to draw. I did the outlines first in pen and sepia ink and colored it in with watercolor. I really enjoy the sepia ink at the moment. It's not so bold compared to black. I didn't have a particular color scheme in mind for this illustration, I just mixed some colors that I thought were nice. The ink should be waterproof according to the people at the art store where I bought it. For the most part that's true, but sometimes it seemed to run out a bit here and there. I just have to be a bit careful. In the end, this is one of my favorites of this project. I also like the style of this drawing. It's not too perfect and that just adds that little bit of charm, I think. For the second one, I'm drawing a corner of a living room with an old TV and some knickknacks. Just as with the bookcase, I like how it turned out in the end. It's another full illustration and you can make up your own background story for it. During this project of all the tiny illustrations, I learned a lot about watercolor, sepia ink and I discovered something about myself. Making art of realistic animals is nice and quite satisfying, but I really liked making those line and wash paintings like the house portrait, the bookcase and this living room corner with the old TV. I think I want to continue making more of these types of illustrations. wasn't sure about how I wanted to do the wallpaper. I wanted to give it a vintage feel, but also keeping it simple. I searched online for some inspiration, but nothing spoke to my imagination for this one, so I just tried out some things. Actually, I had no idea what I was doing, and I wasn't sure if I liked it that much, but I decided to keep going to see how it looked when it was finished. In the end, I think the wallpaper wasn't that bad. I like the color combination of this piece. Painting the screen of the TV was actually quite fun to do. I first laid down a flat layer of paint, and in one corner I lifted up some paint with a damp brush. In the corner on the opposite side I made it a little bit darker to indicate some shadows. It really looks like the old rounded screens from those old type of TVs. For the picture frames I wanted to do something special. I wanted to refer to some other illustrations I made earlier. In the oval picture frame I made a butterfly like the one I made on dictionary paper in part 1. And for the other one I remade the landscape from part 3. It was fun to make those really tiny illustrations in a tiny illustration. I'm a bit obsessed lately with windows, doors, buildings, etc. Also my uncle and aunt likes cats. They have a cat of themselves. So when I came across this free reference photo on Unsplash of a cat in a window, it wasn't that much of a surprise that I had to paint this. I'll put a link to the reference in the description. In the photo, the cat is a bit small compared to the window, so to fit the frame of this illustration better, I cropped the image, made the window smaller and the cat a little bit bigger. To give you an idea of the size, the little cat head is slightly smaller than my fingernail. I did this illustration first, fully in pen and sepia ink. I liked especially the wood of the window frame and the shutters, but I didn't like how the face of the cat turned out. I think the pen was a little bit too thick for the details. So I started over and I painted it purely with watercolor. In the reference photo, the colors are very brown and dull and I didn't like that. So I decided to change it to a more blue and green color scheme. I also changed the wall into red brick instead of the chipped paint the reference had. In the end I think that was a good decision because it was nice to have some contrast with all the blue and the green. I didn't know which one I wanted to add to the can, the pen version or this watercolor one. Both have some nice elements, only the face of the cat was bothering me in the pen version. I asked several other people and most of them said, I like both equally, they're just different. Some like the pen drawing better and some the watercolor version, so that wasn't exactly helpful. I decided as a last resort to ask my aunt which one she liked better. At that time she didn't know that I made it for them. She said she liked the colored version better because the face of the cat was more appealing to her. So the decision was made. I went for this one. In a moment I will show you both the finishing versions, but I didn't include the process of the pen drawing. If you're interested in watching the pen version, I recorded it so I can upload it if you want. Let me know. And here you can see both illustrations of the same reference photo. Which one do you prefer? Also, this whole project is now finished. Next time I'm back with something else, so stay tuned for that. Have a nice day, until next time.